shapeshifting into a wolf is by no means a contemporary creation. Its history can be traced back to the first stories ever told by human beings. These stories, setting at the dawn of the human race, are called mythologies. It is commonly believed that the werewolf made its debut in the Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest epic poem from the ancient Mesopotamia. As the most essential component of the Sumerian myth, this epic tells the adventures of Gilgamesh, a half-god and a historical king of Uruk. Now for the important part, the first werewolf story. We have Ishtar, the goddess of fertility, love, war, and sex. You can get a hint of her personality from the realms she dominates. She's the most arrogant, impetuous, and greedy woman you could have ever imagined. As the goddess of love and sex, she's breathtakingly beautiful. Men bow before her. No one can resist her glamour. Except for one. Ishtar came to Gilgamesh and demanded him to come to her consort. However, Gilgamesh turned her down with some very good reasons. There was Tammuz, the lover of your youth. For him you decreed wailing, year after year. You loved the many-colored lilac-breasted roller, but still you struck and broke his wing. You have loved the stallion magnificent in battle, and for him you decreed the whip and spur and the thong. You have loved the shepherd of the flock. He made meal cake for you day after day. He killed the kids for your sake. You struck and turned him into a wolf. Now his own herd boy chase him away. His own hounds worry his flanks. Simply put, all your acts ended up tragically. Why would I fall to the same mistake? This is a reasonable argument, but surely this would piss off the goddess, who had never been turned down before. Infuriated by Gilgamesh's refusal, Ishtar went to heaven and complained to the father Anu, the Zeus in Sumerian myth. She demanded his father to give her the bowl of heaven, basically a gazelle, to destroy the city of Uruk. Anu, who had a reputation of spoiling children, gave Ishtar the bowl, with which Ishtar attacked Uruk. A lot of things happened afterwards, but perhaps it is better to save them for another day. For now, let's get back to our shepherd. Poor dude. The only thing this guy had done wrong is falling in love with an arbitrary and reckless goddess, who turned him into a wolf only because she had grown bored with him. But was he really a werewolf? He can't shapeshift on his free will, nor can he restore his original human form. This wolf shape didn't bring him any sort of superpower. He was actually torn to bits by his very own hounds, nor did he live in a pack or had a mate. You may deem him not qualified as a werewolf, but he is still the first wolf shifter in existing records. Greek mythologies also sees a man turning into a wolf. He had angered the almighty Zeus, who turned him into a wolf as a punishment. This man is Lycaon, a legendary king of Arcadia. His story has many variations, and the most famous version can be found in the ancient Rome poet Ovid's Metamorphoses. At the start point of the story, humans had become arrogant and impious. They held no respect to the gods and began to think the gods as challengeable. So, when Zeus visited the home of Lycaon in human form, Lycaon decided to challenge him. He intended to kill Zeus during his sleep and served human flesh to the god during a meal. Zeus, soon realizing the tricks Lycaon was playing, became furious, destroyed his house with the thunderbolts, and killed all his sons. As for the evil king, Zeus had him transformed into a wolf. Terror struck, he took to flight, and on the silent plains is howling in his vain attempts to speak. He raves and rages, and his greedy jaws, desiring their accustomed slaughter, turned against the sheep, still eager for their blood. His vesture separates in shaggy hair, his arms are changed to legs, and as a wolf, he has the same grey locks, the same hard face, the same bright eyes, the same ferocious look. This is a detailed depiction of a man shifting to a wolf. Lycaon was present in its abominable skin, wandering in the wild for eternity. He would not perish, always haunted by unsatisfiable hunger. No one could lift his curse. This is the most severe punishment for a cannibal. Was Lycaon the first werewolf? His situation is not much different from that of the shepherd, as he is doomed to die under the wolfskin. Yet another version of the myth somehow justifies Lycaon as the first werewolf. This outer story is told by Pausanias, a Greek geographer living in the 2nd century AD. It's quite different from the one already mentioned. For instance, Lycaon didn't serve cooked human flesh to Zeus. Instead, it was a human sacrifice that king performed that incurred Zeus' wrath. Lycaon brought the human baby to the altar of Zeus Lycaeus and sacrificed it, pouring out its blood upon the altar, and according to the legend, immediately after the sacrifice, he was changed from a man to a wolf. If I have to compare these two acts, I will say human sacrifice is slightly better than cannibalism, though both of them are gruesome and disgusting. Still, Lycaon in Pausanias' story might don't need to be punished as harshly. Pausanias kindly offered a way of redemption. Ever since the time of Lycaon, a man has changed into a wolf at the sacrifice to Zeus, but that the change is not for life. If, when he is a wolf, he abstains from human flesh, after 9 years he becomes a man again, but if he tastes human flesh, he remains a beast forever. We don't know whether Lycaon managed to restore, or is he still wandering in the wild of Arcadia, hungering for flesh and blood. With a slight chance of returning to humans, he is, in the common standard, the first werewolf in human history. The legacy of Lycaon persists to current days. You can find traces of him in words of Latin origin. We have lycanthropy, from Greek, used to describe the mental disorder in which the patient believes he is a wolf or some other non-human animal, and the lycanthrope as a fancy way to talk about a werewolf. Identifying Lycaon as the first werewolf, we have fulfilled our goal for today. In the next episode, our journey ventures deeper into the mythic world of Greek to explore the mysterious and fascinating moon worship of the werewolf pack.